Hello and welcome to Clash of the Dice. I'm James.
I'm Joshua.
Yeah, and for saying this channel was originally set up to be a Deadzone channel, we seem to film one episode between the two of us every 2 years. So, new year, new edition, let's play some 3rd edition Deadzone. I'm really looking forward to this. And apologies if you're expecting some of the new scenery, but I've been building this lot for ages, my winter terrain for Deadzone. So I've got my own mat, which is from P-Work Wargames. Bought one of the PVC ones, cut out the bit I liked and marked a 74mm by 74mm grid on it. And the video for how I make the rocks is available in the channel library somewhere. And the mission we're playing is Scour. And the narrative behind this is this kind of... I like to think that this follows directly on from the solo campaign I did for 2nd edition. So the dwarfs, the Forge Fathers, they managed to evacuate the planet, spoiler alert, and as they were lifting off they didn't realise that there were some Veer-myn infesting the planet as well as plague. The Veer-myn chewed through some fuel conduits which caused the ship to start breaking up as it lifted off, and because of that some of the goods that they managed to escape with got trailed across this snowy mountain pass as they started to ascend into the stratosphere. So that's what we're doing. The Veer-myn have followed the vapour trail of the fleeing ship, but also the plague forces on the planet have also been attracted to the noise. And so in this mission we're playing Scour, so there's 12 items on here, there's no objectives. And the idea is we have to pick up an item and bring it back to a particular point on the map. So I'm over in this corner, my deployment zone is these 4 cubes here, moving up to 4 cubes up there. Joshua's is the opposite side, and I have to grab an item and bring it back to this cube, so 1 in from the corner, and Joshua's is the corresponding one on the other side. And what you're supposed to do is put a strike team together and then work out what mission you're doing. I've done it the other way round because I wanted to tell this narrative, so it wasn't fair that I knew what the mission was and then Joshua didn't. So I did tell Joshua what the mission was before he built his strike team. So the teams are, I've got Veer-myn, including some of the new models, and Joshua's got Plague. So we'll go through what we've got now for the strike teams. So this is my Veer-myn list, and I should have said we're playing 150 points, and I think this is 149. It is in fact exactly 150 points worth of Veer-myn. We're starting off with the leader. I'm using the new leader. He's called the pack leader. If you watch the unboxing video, I wasn't sure what he was called, but he is a pack leader. And I said in the unboxing video that he looks about nightmare size. He's actually slightly bigger than a nightmare. He's still classed as size 2 though. But yeah, looking forward to using him. His splat, it's not called a splat, it's called a special order, but I think everybody is going to call it a splat still. His special order / splat is I can select a model from my strike team within 3 cubes of the active model, and then I can move it 1 cube towards the active model. If this triggers an assault, the move model will gain Frenzy 1 in a subsequent assault turn, and the move model is not marked as activated unless it already was activated. So that's cool. So I can even move a model even if it's been activated. That's interesting. Good close combat orientated. I've got 3 nightmares. 2 of them are armed with twin combat drills. The other is armed with a heavy chem thrower. And I've got 3 stalkers, or are they crawlers? I've no idea why I said there's 3, because there's quite obviously 4 of them, and they are stalkers. Stalkers, I always get these two mixed up. They are stalkers, regular stalkers. So they're the ones with the pistols and the knives, although the knife hasn't actually got a combat profile. But yeah, they're just nippy for running in, grabbing stuff and getting out again, which is basically what this mission is all about. And then finally I've got 2 specialists. I've got 2 maligni. What is the plural of a malignus? I've got 2 of them, whatever it is. I've got 1 armed with a chem thrower and 1 armed with a heavy ray gun. No, I tell a lie. I've got 1 armed with a chem spitter and 1 armed with a heavy ray gun. The reason I wanted a chem spitter is the one on the right. He's also got a smoke grenade. The reason I wanted a chem spitter is because that's got the new prey skill. So I want to see what that's like. So effectively, if I hit something with it, they get a prey marker, and that gives a bonus to any of my models that get into combat with the model that's got the prey sticker on it, the prey token on it.
So this is my strike force of Plague. It is 149 points. My leader is a strike 1 Plague leader dude.
Also known officially as a stage 1 Plague Lord.
His splat is Mutation, which allows him to basically buff any of my units. So when I use a splat, I can give any of my models a Resilient 1, Frenzy +1, increase the AP of one of their close combat weapons by 1, or increase their armor point by 1. So that's a lot of buffing, and I'm interested to see how that will go. For troops choices, I have 3 stage 3A ghouls, 2 with rifles and 2 with flamethrowers. One of the riflemen has ammo to make up some extra points. So that's my stage 3s, and I've also got some stage 2A leapers, which are the guys behind them. Then for specialists, I've got a Plague Teraton, which I think will come in very useful because of his teleportability, which could be interesting to see how that works. And then I've also got another stage 3A ghoul with a grenade launcher.
Right, so I'm going to roll recon test for the Veer-myn using the yellow dice, and my recon is 5 up. So that is 3 successes. Joshua?
Now I too have a recon of 5 up, so that is 2 successes.
With an 8.
With an 8.
So 8s explode, so you roll another dice.
Cool.
So you got 2. 3 successes, so that's a draw, so we need to roll off again. Well, that's a bit better. That's 4 with an 8. 4 successes.
Alright. That is 3 successes, no 8s.
So I win by 1, so I get to make 1 roll on the recon table. So my recon roll is a 6. Move 1 model in your strike team up to 1 cube. Do not mark it as activated. The model may not move into a cube that is occupied by the enemy. Models can only be moved like this once. You must move a different model if you roll this result again. Cool beans. And I won the recon roll, so I'm going to make Joshua deploy first, which also means he then gets to go first. Right, deployment is complete. So Joshua is over here. We've got the 2 stage 2s quite far forward, the stage 1 in the back corner, and everything else across the back line. And for me, I've got some full capacity cubes here. So size 2, 2 size 1s, size 2, 2 size 1s, 2 size 2s, and then 2 of my little stalkers over here, stalkers, crawlers, whatever those guys are. So I can now select a model, because I won the recon, to move 1 cube. So I'm going to start by choosing this little chap, who's going to move 1 cube down into here. We'll see what this is. And it is, oh, it's the intel. Good-o. So in this scenario, one of the crates has to be intel. And I promise you, I didn't know that was it. But that's 2 victory points for me straight away. Good stuff. Ordinarily, intel is worth 1 VP, but in this specific scenario, it's worth 2 VPs. And the other thing I should mention is, ordinarily you'd get victory points for killing enemy models. But in this scenario, that doesn't happen until turn 4 onwards, just so it doesn't turn into a full bloodbath. The emphasis is on getting the crates and scoring points for the crates. And the winner, because we're playing 150 points, the winner is the first person to score 16 victory points. So we're going to start the turn. Joshua gets to activate first, so we're going to roll some command dice.
So, because my leader is stage 1A, I've got Tactician 2, meaning I get 5 command dice.
And you're using the funky new black ones.
Yep. So that is an extra movement, 2 extra shoots, a command ability, and an extra fight, I believe.
Yep.
I think I'm going to re-roll the extra shoot and the extra fight.
Yeah, it's probably a good shout, actually. Probably not going to be much fighting takes place in the first turn.
So I get an extra activation, an extra dice, and an extra fight.
Okay. I've only got Tactician 1, so I'm only rolling 4 dice. Three
extra
activations and an extra die. I don't think I'm going to need all them, so I'll probably keep 1.
I'd keep all of them.
I'll keep the extra dice as well, so I'll re-roll these 2 extra activations. So I want move and a fight. Okay. The move will come in handy, not so sure about the fight. So Joshua's first activation, he activated the Teraton. Yeah.
So she's
big lady.
Yeah. So she's teleported from here to here as a long action, and she's gotten one of the crates, and it is a stun grenade.
Yep. For my first activation, I'm going to activate this chappy here. He is going to move through this cube, and en route, he is going to pick up that item crate, which is combat blades, finish his move in this cube and drop it off, which gives me 2 more victory points. And that's all, just 1 short action. But yeah, I'll then mark him as activated. I'm using the second ed activation counters, Joshua is using the third ed.
Right, so I'm going to sprint this guy. He's going to sprint up to here and grab this crate. It is a armor piercing ammo.
Yep.
So he's going to take that. He's going to go 1, 2 for the rest of his sprint, and then I'm going to spend my extra activation die to take this guy and move him 1. Well, he dropped the crate on his turn.
Wouldn't you be better using your move die and just move that guy into the drop?
That's actually a good idea. I'm going to do that instead. Extra movement die.
Yeah.
He's going to get
move him into the drop zone.
Drop him that off.
And that's 2 points.
2 points.
I'm going to activate this chap who did the 1 cube move at the beginning of the game, and he is going to move 1, 2, 3 and pick up that item as part of a long action. That's a sprint, so we'll pop him in there. And it is ammunition. And then I'm going to spend my extra move die to duck him back behind here. And we'll mark him as activated.
So this stage 2, or stage 2s in general, have the ability agile. So if I sprint him, he can move 1, 2, and then because of agile, he can hop up onto this level because it's part of the same cube.
Yeah, it's in the same stack.
Yeah, so I can then look at this item, which is a smoke grenade.
That is a frag grenade.
Frag grenade.
But yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Otherwise, I might have gone for that item myself instead of that one there. Okay, cool beans. And you haven't got any extra moves or anything, so you can now move anywhere else.
I can't move anywhere else with him.
Right.
But I have got an extra activation if I want to do that.
So Joshua has moved his grenade launcher up so that he's got better fields of fire for future turns.
Yeah, and that was using my extra activation die.
Yep. The Malignus with the heavy ray gun has moved from this cube 1, 2. He's got movement 2 to 3, so that's a short move, so it's an advance, so he can still shoot. And he's now going to shoot this stage 2. Now, strictly speaking, it's not going to be a clear shot because, from my perspective, the rules say you need to be able to see all of the base as well. And if you're shooting upwards, I don't think you can ever see all of the base, so it's not going to be a clear shot. But I do have an extra die that I can throw at it. So with my extra dice, I get 4 dice hitting on 5s, and I get 1 success, but I can reroll 1 with weight of fire, which is still a miss, and I'm going to burn my close combat die for an extra reroll, which is a new third ed mechanic. You can burn a command dice to reroll 1 die in any shoot, fight or save roll. So I get 2 hits.
Right, and I've got 3 dice to save, and my saves are 4 up for stage 2. That is 3 saves.
So you're good. You're not even pinned.
Yeah. So I've taken this flamer guy from here and I've sprinted him all the way along here to get this crate, and it is health back.
Stims.
Stims. What do they do?
Well, you don't really care because you're trying to get victory points at this stage, but I think it gives you... I'd have to look that up actually. I don't know what stims are. They came in the escalations protocol book, and I never used them. So I would have to look that up. Let's find out together, shall we?
Yes.
So it's not stims, it's an adrenaline shot, and you can use it to increase your speed by +1/+1. So +1 to your advance or sprint rate for the rest of the round. So yeah, not really a lot of point in using that.
Yeah, because I'd use it and then, oh dear, I've not got the item anymore to run with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to activate this nightmare, and he's just going to sprint to get into a better position for next turn. So he's got a sprint of 2, so he's made it down there.
So I charged.
Sprinted.
Yeah, sprinted this ghoul from here to pick up the item that was here. As you can see, he's now dropped his ammo token instead. So this is the item he got, and it is a piece of ammo. So he just swapped ammo.
Yeah. The irony is, that one is worth, the one he's picked up is worth 2 victory points. The one he's dropped is worth nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to activate this nightmare carrying the heavy chem thrower, who Joshua seems to have nicknamed Fireman Sam because he looks like he's carrying a fire extinguisher.
Oh no, I was talking about this guy.
Oh, that guy. He's carrying a fire extinguisher. Well, in that case, I'm activating this chap. Yeah, he's going to activate with his heavy chem thrower, and he's just going to stay put and shoot at that stage 2 because he's got range 3, so it's just within range. So the heavy chem thrower on the nightmare is an it burns weapon, so you only ever roll 3 dice. You can never modify it with extra dice or with ammo or anything like that. And I'm hitting on 6s because I'm a Veer-myn and we're rubbish at shooting. That's no successes. So Joshua doesn't need to roll to save. However, because it's an it burns weapon, every model in that cube is set on fire. So that stage 2 is now on fire. That happens even if you don't roll any hits whatsoever. So yeah, the stage 2 is on fire, and what that means is the next time it comes to activate, the first thing it has to do is try and put the fire out. So Joshua has sprinted this stage 2 from that cube in preparation for future turns, because he has pointed out that the only items left are the ones in the center cubes. For my activation, I'm going to activate this chap. He's going to sprint 1, 2, 3 and pick up that item, which is a medikit. So again, Joshua's thinking ahead, and he has hopped that the ghoul with the flamethrower up into the same cube as the grenade launcher. I'm going to activate this stalker, and he is going to sprint 1, 2, 3 up the mountain. Mark him as activated.
The big hulking stage 1, he's going to do something very scary. You all better be ready for this. That's all he can do. He can move 1 square.
My other nightmare is going to sprint 1, 2 into this cube, because there's a lot of monsters over here, so I think I need a few monsters of my own. So Joshua's activated everything with that stage 1, so I've got a Malignus and my pack leader still to activate. Right, I think I'm going to activate the Malignus. He is going to try and sprint up the mountain as far as he can go. So he's done a bit of parkour. He's sprinted into that cube, onto that one, and then diagonally up into this one. And as Joshua has pointed out, my extra activation die was a bit wasted because I can move straight onto the pack leader. Right, so I need to think about what I'm going to do for him, and I think he needs to be a bit closer to the action. So he's going to, we'll pop him into the same cube as this nightmare. So in the frozen wastelands, things are definitely starting to heat up as everybody's converging on the centre, and at the end of the first round, Joshua has got 2 victory points and I've got 4, courtesy of that intel I found in the pre-game sequence. As we go into turn 2, or round 2, Joshua will get to activate first because he finished activating first in round 1. Right, round 2 command dice. I'll go Veer-myn first. 2 fights, a splat and a shoot. I'm going to burn a fight, I think, and get a fight. Okay.
5 command dice. Those are kind of nice. I will keep 1 shoot and I'll keep the extra activation.
Yeah, this is probably a round where you really want your splats for your buffs.
Yeah, so I'm
just a thought.
Reroll these 3.
There you go.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good indeed. So, what you got in the end?
I have 2 extra activations, an extra shoot, an extra move, and a splat.
Yeah, and I've got 2 extra fights, a splat, and a shoot. Cool. And Joshua's first activation. So for Joshua's first activation, his grenade launcher specialist is going to lob a grenade over at this cube containing the pack leader and the nightmare.
Yes.
He has got line of sight from his cube to this cube, and it's an indirect shot, so a bit like an It Burns shot, you only ever roll 3 dice, and because he's got direct line of sight to the cube, he needs 1 success. If, say, he was shooting at this cube, which you can't see, he'd need 2 successes, but you can see this one, so it's only 1 success.
And you 6s though.
Yeah. Right, so first up, we need to find out if the grenade actually lands in the cube. So this is a 3 dice test, and his shoot stat, range stat, used to be a shoot stat, now it's a range stat, is 6 up. Yep. So 3 dice needing the 6.
That is
and you get 6. Right, so that's hit in the cube. Now we need to resolve the effects of the blast. 3 dice, 4 up test.
I'm going to spend
1 success.
Do I want to spend dice to re-roll? I don't think I do. I think we'll just take 1 success.
Yep, so that's 1 success. So I'll roll for my nightmare first. He's got 4 up armor, and they all survive. And that's 3 successes to Joshua's 1. So no damage taken, and then 5 up armor for the pack leader. So the pack leader's got worse armor than a nightmare, but they have both got armor 1. So that's only 1 success. So 1 gets absorbed by armor, 1 point of damage taken. I've no idea what was going through my mind there because Joshua only rolled 1 success. So even if I'd rolled no successes, I would have been absolutely fine with 1 point of armor, but for some reason I thought Joshua had 2 successes, so yeah, he got a wound. I'm not sure why. He shouldn't have had a wound, he should have walked away from that without a scratch. And then every model in the cube gets blasted in a random direction.
And then pinned.
And then pinned, yeah. So, if this is going to be interesting, bear with me. So, the scatter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now obviously, result of a 2, a 5 or a 6 means they're going to get thrown into a wall, which could do extra damage. So we'll resolve the nightmare first. 7, so he's going into this cube and he's pinned. And then the pack leader, 5, so he gets slammed into this cube, which means I now have to make a 3 dice survive test needing 5s. Not quite right. Joshua needs to roll a 3 dice test needing 5s effectively for the impact against the wall, and then I roll my regular survive test. So another bit of a mistake, but new rules. And I make 2, and the armor takes care of the other one. So I just get slammed in, I stay in the original cube and pinned. But that pack leader has also taken 1 point of damage from the original explosion. So that was a pretty successful shoot action, so much so, Joshua was going to spend his shoot die to do it again.
Yeah.
Are you shooting at the same cube or a different one?
I think... Yeah, because I want to get rid of that pack leader.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, another grenade incoming. First of all, 3 dice, 6 up test. See if the grenade hits.
No,
it scatters. Ooh.
Do I want to spend a dice to re-roll one? I think I'm going to spend the extra move dice to re-roll 1 dice.
That hits. Yeah, and even though it's an 8, we don't need to re-roll because you only need 1 success. So 3 dice needing 4s now for the strength of the blast.
Yep. That's 3.
3 successes. Okay, so 5 up armor. Make 2, and armor absorbs the other one. So you've done no additional damage, but do I get tossed around again?
I think you do.
So on a 7, I go into the same cube as the nightmare. So yeah, that second grenade blasted the pack leader into this cube with the nightmare. And Joshua's now spending another command dice on an extra activation.
Yep.
Who are we activating?
I'm going to activate the rifleman behind this rock.
Okay.
So he's going to move 1, 2, and I believe his rifle is range 5. It might be range 6, but I'm going to shoot. I'm going to try and see if I can shoot at the pack leader.
Okay. So Joshua's going to get an extra dice for elevation, but it's not a clear shot. So 4 dice needing 6s?
4 dice needing 6s. That is no hits.
No hits. So this rat with the item is going to move diagonally into this cube, because this is the cube that's diagonally to that one, and then down into this cube and finally into this cube. So it's a sprint action, and drop off the item counter he's carrying for another 2 points. So yeah, just to clarify, this cube into this cube, which is a diagonal move, that would be 1, down into that one 2, and then sprinting into this one for 3.
So I'm going to spend a long action on the Teraton to hibbity-hoppity teleporty over to here. And teleporting does not cause her to drop her items. That means she deposits the item in the slot.
For 2 points.
And then I'm going to spend my extra activation dice to activate this guy. And he's going to sprint to this point, which he can do because she's size 3 and he's size 1, and drop off this item.
Okay, so that ties the game at 6 points each. After much umming and ahhing, my nightmare with twin combat drills is going to charge that stage 2. So he's charged in. Let's resolve the combat. So I get 3 dice base plus 1 for charging in, and we're the same size, so I don't get an extra dice for being bigger. We're both size 2. So I'm hitting on 4s, and that's an 8, so I can re-roll the 1 because 8s explode. So that's 5 hits.
You also get a reroll for rampage. So you can
oh yeah, I could have re-rolled. Yeah.
So you re-roll the 1 and then you get the extra.
That would be the one. Yeah, I get frenzy. So that would be the 1. That would be re-rolling the 1 for frenzy. So the 8 now generates an extra attack. So 5 hits.
Ouch.
And you get 3 dice, and you're fighting back rather than saving.
I am going to fight.
Surviving rather.
They're both the same roll, so might as well fight back.
Yeah.
That is
1 success.
1 success, but I have frenzy.
Oh yeah, so you can re-roll 1.
So that's
2 successes. So 2 to my 5. They cancel out. Do you have armor?
I have 1 armor.
Well, I've got armor piercing, so you take 1, 2, 3 damage. How many hit points do you have?
I have 3 hit points, but I'm size 2, so 5 hit points total.
No, you got 3 hit points.
3 hit points.
Yeah.
And then size 2.
Size 2 doesn't count. Size 2, is in 2nd edition, the amount of damage you could take was equal to your size.
Yeah.
In 3rd edition, the amount of damage you can take is equal to your hit points. So if I equal your hit points or exceed your hit points, he's dead.
Oh, so he's dead.
So he's dead. So the stage 2 is dead, but I don't get any victory points for it because we're not in round 4. We're only in round 2. So moving on to Joshua's activation. The flamethrower has moved. It can now draw a bead onto the nightmare, so he's going to shoot at him with his flamethrower. Okay, so another it burns weapon, so 3 dice regardless of modifiers, and you're hitting on 6s?
Yep. 3 dice, hitting on 6s. That is an 8.
Yep, so that explodes.
That's a 4.
So 1 success.
Yes.
So I get 3 dice to save.
Do they have armor?
Yes, armor 1.
So you'd automatically pass, wouldn't you?
There is that, yeah, which is just as well because I only rolled 1 success. So yeah, I'm good, but I am on fire.
You are indeed on fire.
My Malignus with the heavy ray gun is going to do an advance action, moving diagonally upwards into that cube and then into that cube. And then he's going to shoot at that ghoul carrying the adrenaline shot over there. And there he is, just in range. So I get 3 dice base plus 1 for elevation, but it's not a clear shot, and I'm hitting on 5s. And with weight of fire 1, I can reroll 1 die. So only 1 success. And you are saving on 5s?
That's 3 successes.
Yeah, you're good. So I'm going to spend an extra shoot die, do it again. So 4 dice on 5s. Nothing, so weight of fire. 1 success.
5s.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, fine.
So the ghoul I just shot at, who was behind that tree, has just sprinted over towards the drop-off point. This stalker carrying that ammo crate is going to sprint back towards the drop-off point. He won't be able to get all the way because he can only move 3. So 1, 2, 3. He'll end up back in that canyon. There he is. But as these guys found out, that's not a very good place to be. So Joshua is going to activate the stage 2 that's on fire. So I get to roll a flame test. I am the fire. 3 dice hitting on 4s. That's 2 successes.
And then I roll 3 4-ups for a save.
Yep.
I have armor 1, so... Okay, so that's
1 success.
And an armor 1. So
Now
armor
then.
cancels 1.
I think it's resolved AP 1. We need to check.
It's resolved AP 0.
Yeah, so we just checked. I'm pretty sure it was second ed where fire was resolved with AP 1. But yeah, in third ed, yeah, it's not. There's no AP and armor does count. So yeah, you take 1 wound. Again, not sure where my head was because I literally just said 2 successes. He got 1 success and armor, so that should have cancelled out everything. So we shouldn't have taken any damage. But at least now we've both got 1 wound that we shouldn't really have had. Which means you now get risk of rampage.
Yeah.
Right, so because he's now taken a wound and it's got the rampage ability, Joshua now needs to roll, and on a 1 or a 2, I get to activate it instead.
Yeah, 1 or 2, Dad gets to take control of it. 3 to 6, then it goes as normal. 7 to 8, it moves a cube for free. That's a 2! Can I spend that dice to reroll?
No, because you can only use it on a shoot, an attack, or a save.
Ah!
So I am going to move him 1, 2 into there. Get him as far away from Joshua's drop-off point as I can at the minute.
That would be moving it that way.
Yeah, but he's also nice and in the open there if I decide to shoot him with anything. Keeping my eyes on the prize, this stalker is going to move into this cube as part of a sprint action. And we'll pick up, we'll go for this one, which is a grenade. So that's 1 of his sprint moves, and then 2, 3 onto that cube. Joshua has moved his stage 1 because he realised that you kind of fenced him in, because to move through here you've got 2 half cubes, so he was a bit boxed in because he can only move 1 and it's size 3.
Size 3.
So half cubes can only accommodate size 2, and that's all your models activated.
Yeah.
Right. For my next activation, this Malignus is going to hop up onto here, and I think a bit like Joshua will drop his smoke grenade and pick up this item, which is a shock baton. And then for his next activation we're going to blaze away. Let's reposition in the cube so we can actually do it. He's going to blaze away at the grenade launcher, although 2 seconds, I don't think he's an eligible target. Oh, he is, because I can see his head. His head is an eligible part of the target, his head and shoulders. Right, so blaze away. So because this is a rapid fire weapon, instead of shooting to harm him, I can shoot him and try and pin him, which means I get an extra die. So yeah, because it's a rapid fire weapon, I can blaze away. It used to be called firing for effect, I think, in 2nd edition. So yeah, instead of 3 dice, I roll 4 dice, but I still get an extra dice for being elevated. So I get 5 dice. I'm shooting on 5s. Whoa, that's 3 8s. So I get 3 extra shots, and they don't convert, so I get 3 successes. So now Joshua needs to make a survive test.
5 ups. Don't think I can beat 3 8s though. Yeah.
No successes. So that just simply means that grenade launcher is now pinned. And the reason I did that is because he is now pinned, so next turn, he's not taking any damage, but next turn if Joshua wants to shoot with him, he's going to have to spend a shoot die, because the stand up is a short action, and shooting with an indirect weapon is a long action. So that was my thoughts. And Joshua's got nothing else to activate with, so I can now act with impunity. So the Nightmare has stood up and just moved into this cube. The pack leader has stood up and moved diagonally into the cube where he was, and I'm going to use a splat on his pack hunter's ability, and I select a model within 3 cubes of him to move 1 cube closer to him. And we had a little bit of a chat because we don't know if this is is this cube here, the one where the wall is effectively, does that count as cube number 1, or does this count as cube number 1? So 1, 2, 3. Or is it a case of 1, 2, 3? And we've agreed to go on, well, what would it be if it was movement or shooting? That was Joshua's suggestion. So if it was movement or shooting, it would be 1, 2, 3. So we're going for this chap is going to move 1 cube and drop down a level. Just to quickly point out that this guy's weapon is, as well as being rapid fire, it's also prey. But you don't get hit with a prey marker if you're doing a blaze away action. So that's why I've not put a prey marker on the grenade launcher, because you can't use that with a blaze away action. The other stalker that was down here that dropped off an item last turn has sprinted 1, 2, 3, and that just leaves this chap. I think at the minute this guy's just going to mark himself as activated. He can't shoot at anything, so everything's out of range. Even this guy, who I moved, is out of range. So yeah, I think he's just going to stay there to cover this zone here, because it's providing a bit of covering fire for my guys as they're coming this way. And if Joshua decides he wants to bring his guys towards me, they've got to walk through him first. So that's the idea. That will be the end of round 2, and at the end of round 2 it's 6 points apiece. As we go into round 3, Joshua gets to activate first again because he finished activating first in this round. Round 3, command dice. Plague go first?
Yeah, I think I still get to reroll. Got more than half force, yeah.
Yeah, I've only killed 1. And even that doesn't count for victory point purposes.
Those are some good rolls.
There's your badly needed shoot.
I will take the badly needed shoot, definitely. I will take the extra activation. I haven't been using too many mutations, but I'm going to take it anyway. Do I want the extra move? I think what I'll do is I'll take the extra dice and I'll reroll the extra move. Extra fight, that could come in useful. Okay, so what you got in the end? I have gotten an extra shoot, an extra dice, an extra activation, a mutation or splat, and an extra fight.
Okay. Now I desperately want some of those extra activations I got in the first round and discarded. I've got 2 extra moves, a shoot and a fight.
Extra moves come in useful.
Yeah, I think the extra move will definitely keep. One of them anyway. I'll keep the extra shoot and I'll re-roll the other 2. No extra activations. So 2 extra shoots, an extra fight and an extra move. So the Ghoul Grenadier has stood up for a short action and then moved up into that cube for another short action, and we're now spending a shoot die.
I am indeed spending a shoot die
to lob a grenade into the
Canyon of Chaos.
The Canyon of Chaos, the Ditch of Doom, the Trench of Terror. This cube.
Yeah.
Right. So Joshua's got line of sight, so 3 dice, needing 1 success on 6s.
That's a 7, that's 2 7s. We're fine.
So you got a success. So now 3 dice strength, frag grenade.
Whoops.
3 dice frag test, needing 4s.
Yep. That's 2 6s.
2 successes. So we'll go for the pack leader first. He needs 5s to save. 1 success.
So armor takes up 1, doesn't it?
Armor takes up 1. You got 2 successes, didn't you?
2 successes.
So he's okay, but he is blasted and pinned.
Yep. Small little guy.
Small little guy. I think he's armor 6. Let's roll dice and then check. No successes.
Ooh.
So he's dead.
Yeah.
And he will drop the item that he was carrying. And unfortunately, that doesn't count for victory point purposes for Joshua.
It's fine. It means he drops the item and stops you from getting 2 points easier.
And I scatter straight into a wall because it was... I rolled a 2 and it's that. So I now roll a 3 dice survive test needing 5s. So again, just to clarify, Joshua should have rolled a 3 dice strength test on a 5 up for the wall, and I roll a regular save, which just happens to be 5s. But yeah, whoops, didn't really think this through. 1 success, but it's an 8. Oh, that popped out. That's another 8.
Are you kidding me?
I think he's okay, so he's taking no extra damage.
Ah, come on.
Right, so Joshua's activating the stage 2 with his extra activation die. So rampage roll, and you've spent a splat.
Yeah, splats to increase the armor of the model by 1, so it's now armor 2.
Okay, so rampage
Rampage
is a 5,
fine.
so you can activate him as normal.
Yes.
So the stage 2 is simply sprinted 1, 2. So points mean prizes, and I've still got 2 rats carrying items. So I think I'll start with that chap because he's got furthest to go, and he's going to sprint. So he'll sprint down into that cube, which will be 1, down into that cube, which will be 2, and then into the drop pod, the drop zone for 3, and deposit the item. And there he is. That puts me on 8 points to 6. So Joshua has just realised that his drop zone is currently full because it's got a capacity of 4 and he's got a size 3 and a size 1 in there. So that ghoul who's currently carrying an item can't fit in there to drop it off.
No.
So what are you going to do?
I'm going to sprint me stage 3. Mm-hmm. He's going to go 1, 2, 3 and hide behind here.
Okay, yep. He did think about teleporting the Teraton.
Try and get that item.
But that's only a size 2 cube and he's a size 3.
She is a size 3.
She, yeah, it's female, it's a big one, so it's female. That's not me being racist or sexist or fattest, that's what it says in the law. The bigger Teratons are the females, the small ones are males.
They're more intimidating that way.
The other guy with the item is going to sprint into this cube with his item to drop it off. So that's 2 cubes of his sprint item, of his sprint action, so he's now going to spend the last cube of his sprint action to pop into here, out of the way, so I don't end up with a similar problem to Joshua. So that is dropped off for another 2 points. Puts me on 10. So the ghoul with the item is going to sprint to drop off the item. So that's 2 points, and he's got 1 square left, cube left, and he's hopped up.
Stay still.
I'm going to activate this chap. He's going to do a sprint action. 1 into that cube, 2 into that cube, pick up the item, and then 3 back to that cube. And then I have my extra move dice, which will return him to where he started. So, basically, that. So that puts me on 12 points. So the regular ghoul that was on that cube has sprinted to get the last unclaimed item.
And it is a smoke grenade.
I need a longer cable on my phone. Yeah, he was tempted to teleport in the Teraton on that nightmare, but I pointed out if he kills him, we're only in round 3, so he won't get any points. So yeah, we're both in a situation where we want to start killing stuff, but we won't get any points, so there's no point in killing stuff in this turn.
Yeah.
Right, so this chap is going to sprint 1, 2, and then shoot at the grenade launcher.
Sprint is a long action.
It is indeed. With a shoot die.
Ah!
But well spotted, yes. But I had already taken that into consideration because I've still got another one and a fight one. So Joshua just had a mini panic attack when he realised I had 2 shoot dice and he thought I was going to shoot him twice. But you can't do that. You can only use the same die on the one character once. So I can't spend 2 shoot dice on the same guy, effectively. So 3 dice test. I think I need 6s. I get no successes, but you are at least on fire. And so you've wasted your extra die because you don't need to make a save roll.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to use it anywhere else, so it's better wasted it then.
So your ghoul with the grenade launcher is on fire.
Yes.
So you need, hopefully next turn he's going to stop, drop and roll. So Joshua has moved his stage one more space, and I think he's rapidly coming to the conclusion that it's the most pointless model in the game.
It's pointless when he's not in the field.
Yeah, but with a movement of 1-1, it's not brilliant. So the Malignus with the heavy ray gun is going to drop down onto this cube, from whence he can clear shot that ghoul. Now I know what you're thinking, if I kill him it's a waste of a victory point, but if I kill him he drops the 2 victory point item. That's my thought. So 3 dice base plus 2 for a clear shot, so hit on 5s. Oop. And we've got way to fire 1, so I can re-roll the 1. So that's 4 hits with 2 8s.
Yeah, he's dead.
And
he is flat out dead.
2 more 8s. It's an 8
How
train.
many 8s have you rolled?
7 successes.
I think you kind of kill him.
Do you want to roll your save?
I might get 12 8s.
Yeah, you can get your own 8 train. There's an 8!
There's 1. That fell out.
It did.
No, he's dead.
Yeah, he's all kinds of dead.
You've just completely eviscerated him and roasted him.
So the Lady Plague Teraton has just simply walked out of the drop-off cube, so that we have worked out it is possible for this guy to make it into the drop-off zone. So Rampage, if Joshua rolls a 7 or an 8, he'll get a free cube move, and then he can move 1, 2, and then an extra move die will get him into the drop-off point. So it's possible,
Just highly unlikely.
and not if there's a size 3 model in it.
That too.
So my pack leader has stood up in the Trench of Terror and moved into the next cube. So Joshua is quite literally going to return fire with his flamethrower shooting at my nightmare with the big chem thrower. Because he's just within range, because he's in that half cube. So 1, 2. So it's an It Burns weapon, so 3 dice, needing 6s.
6s, because they're all full of shooting. That is 2 hits.
With an 8.
2 hits.
2 successes. I'm saving on 4s with armor 1, so I effectively get 2 successes. So I am on fire, but I've taken no damage. That's all of Joshua's models activated, and I've got 2 nightmares, one of which is on fire to activate, and this chap here. So I'm going to do this guy first, who is simply going to go 1 into this cube, 2 into that cube and pick up the item, and then sprint back up here, I think. So yeah, he was there, 1 into that cube, 2 down into that cube, and then back up into this cube after picking up the item. Now I'm going to do this nightmare, who is going to charge that stage 2, see if I can tickle an extra wound off him. And there he is, he's made it into the cube. So I get 3 dice base, plus 1 because I charged, and an extra 1 because he's wounded now.
Yep.
That's stage 2. So I get 5 dice hitting on 4s, and I get Frenzy 1 because I've got 2 drills.
Yep. Then you get
So
an
that's
8.
2 successes, and there's an 8 in there as well. So 3 successes.
Right, I get 3 dice. Now I've got armor 2, which is now armor 1 because you've got arm piercing 1.
Yep.
That's the thing to take into consideration.
So you need at least 1 success.
Yeah.
But
and
are you fighting back?
I'm fighting back. So
Not surviving, right.
yeah, hitting on 4s, and I have frenzy, so I get to reroll 1.
Okay, so that's 2 successes. So this will be a frenzy. So that's 3 successes, and your 8.
That's 4 successes.
4 successes to mine. Have you got AP?
I have no AP.
So I get armor. So my 3 will cancel out those, and my armor will cancel out that.
Okay.
So let's do it again with a fight die, but I don't get the extra dice for moving in this time. So only 4 dice hitting on 5s. And frenzy, and the 8. So 3 successes again.
Same thing again with me. So that is 2 successes, but I have armor 1.
You have armor 2.
Armor 2.
Yep.
Armor 1 because you are AP.
So nothing happens again.
Nothing happens again. Can I spend my extra fight dice?
No, because it's not your activation.
Fair point.
So now we've got the nightmare is on fire. So first of all, does he put the fire out? So Joshua rolls 3 dice, needing 4s for the flames.
That is
three successes.
Remember, this is AP 0, so your armor does count.
And I'm on armor 4, so I've got an 8.
Armor 4?
Yep, my armor is 4 up. Sorry, my save is 4 up.
Your save is 4 up,
yeah.
your armor is 1.
But my armor is 1, so yeah, I'm going to put out the fire so I can now act with impunity. So he's put the fire out, so he can now act normally. So he's now going to charge 1, 2 into the cube with the other nightmare and the stage 2. Because what that also means is, if Joshua tries to break out of that cube, yeah, he'll be breaking out of a cube with my models in it, so I'll get to basically punch him before he tries to leave. So this guy gets 3 dice base, plus 1 for charging, plus 1 because the stage 2 is injured, plus 1 because I've got a friendly model in there. So 6 dice, needing 4s. And Frenzy 1 to reroll one of the 1s. And I've got 2 8s. That's a bit better. So that's 6 successes.
Okay, I'm going to fight back. So, hitting on 4s with Frenzy. Frenzy. So that's 3 successes, armor 1.
Take out 3 of mine. You got armor 2, but I've got AP 1.
So that makes armor 1, so that blocks 1 of your hits.
So yeah, that's 1. So you take 2 more wounds.
Which kills him because he's got 3 HP.
He did. I've done myself out of 4 victory points there. Right, so that's the end of round 3. The Veer-myn are on 12 points, the Plague are on 8. And now, kills count. Joshua gets to activate first again because he finished activating first in the previous turn. Right, command dice. I'm rolling first this time, and this time I still really want extra activations. There's an extra activation.
Got an extra activation.
I want the move as well. Do I want extra dice? Yeah, you know what? I want everything. Those extra dice might come in handy for... I don't know. Do I want extra dice? Yeah.
My command dice. I will take a splat.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll take an extra activation too.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take an extra move. I'll take an extra fight. I don't think I'll take an extra splat though. I think I just want the 1 splat.
You kind of... well... yeah.
What?
I was about to say you really need a shoot, but you don't actually, because you're not pinned this time. Your grenade launcher isn't pinned this turn.
Nope. I got another splat anyway. So 2 splats, an extra activation, an extra move, and an extra fight.
Okay, and you activate first.
I do.
So Joshua has teleported the Teraton into that cube down there, and then extra move die to charge in. On...
Oh, and when I activated it, spending the splat,
yep.
I'm going to increase the AP of her weapons by 1.
Oh, okay. So Joshua is attacking one of my nightmares.
They're both the same.
I'm going to fight back and use an extra die. So attacker goes first.
I get 3 dice base.
Yep.
Plus 1 because I moved in.
Yep.
Plus 1 because I'm bigger.
Yep.
So this is 5 dice hitting on, I believe, 4s. I am just going to...
One moment, caller. Yep, indeed, hitting on 4s.
Right. That is...
3 successes. Hits. Do you get frenzy on anything?
No frenzy. It's knockback on her claws, and I've given her AP 1.
Okay, so I get 3 dice fighting back, plus 1 because I've got a mate, plus 1 for an extra dice. So 5 dice hitting on 4s. And I get frenzy 1. And there is an 8 in there. Right, so no successes. So they cancel each other out, but I believe knockback still works because you did at least get a hit in.
Yeah.
So no, you needed to roll more successes than me for me to be knocked back. But even if I had armor and that soaked up damage, it would still have worked. But number of successes was the same, so I don't get knocked back.
Extra fight. Let's do it again.
Yet.
You spend an extra dice?
I don't know if I can.
4.
So it looks like I can use another extra dice. So yet again, I get 5.
I get 4.
Because yeah, you haven't charged in on this attack.
Yep, hitting on 4s. That is 2 hits.
Okay, so fighting back on 5s. Sorry, 4s. With a frenzy. Nope, it's a 2 to 2.
Yep.
Another stalemate. So Joshua has spent his extra activation. The ghoul that was over there has moved into here, picked up the ammo that was dropped earlier, and is going to shoot at the Malignus.
Yep.
Alright, so Joshua gets 3 dice base plus 1 for ammo. Hitting on 6s?
Hitting on 6s. That's nothing.
Nothing. Oh well, it was worth a shot.
Darn it!
Get it? Worth a shot? Never mind. This Stalker is going to activate. He's going to sprint down the mountain. So 1, 2, 3 into that cube, and then with an extra move die, get to the drop-off point, which gives me 14 points. And then my last command dice is an extra activation. I'm going to activate the Malignus with the heavy ray gun, and he is going to shoot at the grenade launcher. But first of all, I'm going to move and see if I can get a clear shot on him, because currently we're on the same level. So he can move 2, so he's moved from this cube 1, 2 into that cube, and he now gets most definitely a clear shot down at that grenade launcher. So yeah, I get 3 dice base, 2 for clear shot, 1 for height, hitting on 5s with weight of fire 1 for a reroll. And that's not so bad.
That's not bad
We've
at all.
got 2 8s, so let's do the 2 8s. And then weight of fire 1. Okay, so that's 5 successes.
Okay.
You're saving on...
Saving on 5s. 3 dice. That is him dead.
He did. And that's 2 victory points.
Yep.
So that puts me on 16.
And that triggers endgame?
So yeah, we calculate victory points at the end of each round. So the game isn't over yet, but I currently am on 16. Joshua's on 8, so he needs 8 points to draw level. So Joshua has moved the flamethrower, and he's going to try and flame these guys, although he will hit his Teraton as well. I don't think it's very likely that Joshua can kill 8 points worth of models.
No, I think...
with 2 flamethrowers.
Yeah, that's it for me.
So, but yeah, he's playing for glory anyway. We'll play to the end of the turn, so this could be interesting. I want to see if he kills his own Teraton. That'd be hilarious. Right, so shooting at the cube, 3 dice needing 6s.
Yep. That is
2 successes. So everybody in the cube is now on fire.
Yep.
So do you want to roll to save your own Teraton?
I shall indeed do that. What is the save my Teraton?
I'll tell you what, while you're doing that, I'll do one of the nightmares.
Yep.
So, oh, that's 3 fails, and
dear.
armor will take 1, so 1 takes a wound.
Yeah. Teraton has a save of 5, but 4 hit points.
Okay,
And
the
armor
other
1.
the other nightmare, 3 successes is absolutely fine.
So yeah,
Other than
Teraton.
being on fire.
Teraton. That's 2 saves, and then yeah,
So he's good.
she's fine.
So one of my nightmares takes a wound.
Yep, and they're all on fire.
So seeing as this guy has spent most of the game just getting up off the floor, he's going to charge in on that flamethrower that just fired. Right, so I get 3 dice base, plus 1 for charging, plus 1 because I'm bigger. I hit on 4s, and I have frenzy too, because those big, nasty Edward Scissorhand claws. So I get a frenzy. So that is 5 successes.
Right, I get 4 dice because you're wounded, and I'm hitting on 5s. That is
3 successes.
I have no armor. I've got 2 hit points, so he's dead.
He did.
That is another point for you.
So I've now just realised I've served up a already wounded pack leader on a silver platter to a flamethrower. So let's see what happens with this one.
So we've got 3 dice hitting on 6s. That is an 8. That is an 8.
1 success. No point in rolling because I've already got armour as well, but yeah, 1 success plus armour. I'm fine, other than being slightly singed because I'm on fire. So everything on this cube is on fire, but I'm going to activate. This one was wounded. This nightmare was wounded. I'm going to activate this nightmare. So first of all, we need to try and put out the fire, but then we're going to take a swing at the Teraton. Would you care to roll for my fire, please?
I shall indeed. That is
2 successes. Saving on 4s.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, we're good. Why couldn't that been the attack roll? Right, so attacking, I get 3 dice base. Are you wounded? You're not wounded.
I am not wounded, no.
But I do have a buddy, so I get 4 dice.
I'm using 4 dice as well because I'm bigger.
Yep, so I'm hitting on 4s. Okay, with frenzy. and an 8. So 5 successes.
I'm hitting on 4s. I've got knockback and AP1, so that is 2 successes.
Yeah, you need at least one more.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is 6
successes to my 5.
Yep.
So my armour will take care of the hit, but you will knock me back.
I will knock you back. Oh, I've got AP1 because of my splat that I used.
Alright, yep. So those are cancelled out by mine. I've got 1 point of armour, but you've got AP1, so I take a wound and I'm knocked back.
Yep.
Right, so because we're melee, Joshua gets to choose where I get knocked back to. And he originally thought about knocking me down into that canyon, but I wouldn't have taken any fall damage because it's only 1 cube. So instead he slammed me into this wall, which means I basically bounce back into the cube where I came from. But now Joshua does a 3 dice test needing 5s for the wall.
That is 3 successes.
3 successes, so I now make a save test against that, which is none, but armour counts. So I've taken 2, plus the 1 that you did to me in melee means 3, so that nightmare is dead. Right, so Joshua has just activated the stage 1 and effectively done a pass. And that's basically what I'm going to do with all my guys. So Joshua has just pointed out that effectively, in order to pass somebody, to mark them as activated, they need to activate and pass. And I've got 2 nightmares that are on fire. So we'll go for the nightmare that's in combat with the Teraton. So
Right.
roll 5 for that one.
That is not
1
very
success
good.
with an 8. 2 successes. Saving on 4s. With armour, I'm good. And then the one with the chem thrower is also on fire.
That is much better.
3 successes with an 8. 4 successes with an 8. 5 successes with an 8.
5 successes.
5 successes.
This could be a dead.
No, it won't be dead because he's got 2 hit points. Oh, I suppose, yeah, technically it could. I'm assuming I'm going to make all 3 of these. I make 2 with an 8. No, 2. So yeah, that's a dead rat.
Hey.
So that's another 2 points for you. So at the end of that round, I'm on 17 points. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. Joshua is on
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
12 points. So it's a victory for the Veer-myn. So yeah, that was our first game of 3rd edition. Please, by all means, let us know if we made any mistakes. I think we got most things right. But yeah, we might have been playing in 2nd edition mode. So if we have done anything that should be different, please do let us know. But yeah, I enjoyed that. Well, obviously I won, but it's not all about the winning. It was just a nice, interesting scenario, because whilst you can kill stuff from the get-go, there's not a lot of point.
Yeah.
You need to capture the crates.
The fact you killed 2 of my 2 stage 2s early on meant you're missing on 4 points.
Yeah, well, 5 because I killed a stage 3 as well.
Yeah,
so
5.
I missed out on 5 points for myself, and you only missed out on 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, what are your thoughts of 3rd ed so far?
Not too different.
Yeah,
from what I remember.
basically the same.
Yeah. Although that could just be us playing in 2nd edition mode.
Yeah, the hit points versus size tripped you up once, didn't it?
Yeah,
so you got a little bit confused.
Yeah.
And essentially, I think I prefer the hit points version, because I remember when I first started playing 2nd edition, I was watching one of Tyler Schultz's videos on Deadzone, and I thought that effectively the size worked the way hit points were, because he had a goblin that took 1 hit and didn't die, and I thought, well, surely it should be dead because it's taking damage. But no, it used to be size number, so a size 1 model can take 1 hit before it dies, so every hit after that would kill it. So I think this makes a bit more sense, because when you equal or exceed the hit points of the model with damage, then they die. And they've replaced the fragile rule with that, so zombies are no longer fragile, but they've got hit points of 1, which is effectively the same. If they take 1 point of damage, they die. And the same with Asterian ciphers. They're no longer fragile, but they've only got hit points of 1, so if they take 1 damage, they die. So yeah, I quite like that. They've got rid of an ability, but everything else gets an extra stat. But yeah, all in all, I quite like that. There is something I don't like about 3rd edition, and that is force lists. Specifically, mercenaries and things like that. So I don't know if you're following me on Instagram, but I've painted, finally, my ogre mercenary. my Ogre Terminator mercenary. And in previous editions, I think he could work for pretty much anybody, but now he's locked into GCPS. That doesn't make sense to me. I think the Ogre should at least be able to be taken by the Rebs, and possibly also by the Marauders. The fact that he's locked into GCPS doesn't make sense to me. So that's about the only thing I've come across so far that I don't like, is the way that some of the characters are now locked to specific factions. Other characters, it makes sense for them to be locked to specific factions, but that particular one, nah, don't like that. But on the whole, it's still the Deadzone that we know and love. I still love playing it. Hopefully we'll get to play 3rd edition more than once every 2 years. But yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Have you got anything else to say?
Not much, other than I really wasn't suited for this mission. My poor stage 1 was stuck at the back for all along, and I was considering for the final move just hopping him off the table.
Well, to be fair, when you were building your list, I did suggest that might be better taking the stage 3 general, because then you're generating zombies.
Zombies are beasts,
if you kill something. Yeah, they can't pick up the stuff, but then they are a distraction for me, and that leaves you other models that can pick up items.
Yeah. I suppose for this game I should have gone a lot more stage 3 heavy rather than stage 1s. So instead of taking the stage 1, taking the stage 3 general, not taking the stage 2s for the sake of taking the stage 3s and all that.
Yeah.
The Plague Teraton was definitely a good unit to take.
Yeah.
Plague Teraton, she did amazingly well.
Yeah.
Just wish I had another one, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I've got one, I just haven't built it or painted it yet. But yeah, you have said the next time you're going to use Enforcers.
I want to use Enforcers next.
Yeah, which for me is reassuring, because that shows me you want to play it again. Right. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Please continue to like,
comment,
and subscribe. And until next time, stay safe and God bless.